Injustice on iOS.
Oh.
This is on iOS. Look at the hot
Well-
new game that everyone's talking about on other consoles. Jonathan Holmes,
Hi.
you sexual criminal. We know you did it, you did it. We know you did it, you did it.
I didn't. No, I'm not.
Jonathan
That's mean.
Holmes, you sexual criminal, you sexual animal.
Both counts not.
Too
Both counts
sexy to go to jail.
What? Why would you go to-
It's a rock opera I'm writing, Jonathan.
Oh, why?
I know why, because I want to celebrate your life in the only form of human artistic expression known possible to capture your glory, the rock opera. Thank you very much. We know you did it, you did it.
I didn't do anything
Well,
at all.
Well, I've
Okay.
embellished it a little. You know, like how many biographies in film and rock opera aren't quite true. Aren't quite
True.
true. Like
True.
Andrew
Not
Lloyd
true.
Webber's Cats. Those cats, they existed. I'm not saying they didn't. They probably didn't sing Memories. Probably wouldn't know all the words.
But sure, but they were never people, and therefore, if you were to say they were sex criminals,
Jonathan Holmes, he did the crime, but he will never do the time. The judge walked in, heard of his sin, said, "You are too sexy to go to prison."
did you just make that up?
I was thinking about it yesterday.
That is
I made it
impressive,
up
though.
yesterday.
Right, and you remembered it today.
I remembered it totally wrong and didn't quite go like that. It went better on the night, though. So we don't even need to rehearse, because clearly the show will be better on the night.
It was a very good rhyme. It is sad that it is about me being a sex crime guy.
I never
'Cause I'm
said
not
you're a
one.
sex crime guy. You're a sexy crime guy. You commit acts of felony and larceny. This is the
That's
story.
not good.
This is the story of the rock opera, right?
Uh-huh.
You have to forgive me. I'm drinking a Mexican cola, and that will make me do burpees. I was asleep 10 minutes ago because I was up late last night looking at pornography. So I'm a bit tired and burpy, but that's a good combination because it lets me do good rhymes in my face. So this is the story of Jonathan Holmes, which I'm writing in rock opera form. And it's about you committing crimes, unspecified crimes. It's just we know you're on the run from the law. You're on the lam for all manner of things. But you know, eventually, when the townspeople with their pitchforks and their torches get you and drag you through the streets of ye olde Boston, because this would be like Sweeney Todd era, ye olde Boston, and they bring you before the judge, and the judge rolls. I should send you to jail for what you've done, but you are so sexy. I would go to jail if I deprived you from the world, you sensual criminal! Begone from these dark doors, and may I only see you again from behind!
Whoa.
Because of your sexy little boy's bum. Bang, bang, get out! And then we all sing another song, I don't know, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. and it's going to be great. You know, we've got a heroine who apparently you've committed the crime against, but she is going to, because you're so sexy, she's going to go to court and say you didn't do the crime at all. And then that'll be a whole, oh my god, it's one of those moral issues that come up so often today in modern times. Do I testify against the man that stole from me, robbed from me, murdered members of my family, robbed my house, burned things I own,
Whoa, who did
Or-
that? What crime man did that?
Or do I acknowledge he's sexy and move on? When does it become a point where it's more or less my fault because of how sexy he is? I'm calling her Jean Benet because that's a nice French name for a heroine. Makes you think of old vaudeville music hall experiences. Jean Benet Ramsey, I'm going to call the heroine of the story, and Jonathan Holmes, the man who committed the sexy crime against her. And we're going to call it Jonathan Holmes, sex criminal.
No. Sex criminal. That's so different than sexy criminal. That's the difference between, ham salad and hand salad. Very big difference.
It's the same sphere of sex. It's the same sexy sphere. I want to do a rock opera about your sexy sphere.
And
it's just noises now.
Yeah, I mean, what do you? There's something there. Sure.
When I come up with ideas, I like to try and predict the exact way you will poo-poo them. When it becomes too easy, if I've reduced you to just nervous tics.
It's hard to come up with words sometimes because it's all known. I mean, why even? What's there to say that isn't already known to be what I'm gonna think about it? It's bad. It makes me look bad. Those songs are great.
They are.
It's sad that they're gonna be put to use to make my life worse. People aren't gonna know it's a joke, and even if they do, they're gonna think, why is he doing this? Why is he saying this about this guy? And it's not like I look like, oh, he's definitely not a criminal. You can tell by his tired face and his no hair. I look scary to people anyway. And then to go out and say that I'm a sex criminal.
That song in that musical film that your friend made, which was
about being a serial killer.
Jonathan Holmes being a serial killer.
So it was not about Jonathan Holmes being. I was acting with John Fiore. No, it wasn't autobiographical.
I thought that was your name. Like that was the name you took as a serial killer, John Fury.
No. Fiore he's a man. He was in Mystic Pizza, and he did a fine job opposite Julia Roberts in that film.
You were in a film with Julia Roberts?
I was in a film with a guy who was in a film with Julia Roberts.
As good.
It's just
not
as good.
Better.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's good. It's equally good. All equally valid.
And, I mean, you're making a good commentary on how Lindsay Lohan doesn't ever really go to jail. You could make this about Lindsay Lohan. She's a sexy criminal. People are like, Lindsay Lohan, nah, no jail for her.
She shouldn't go to jail.
She shouldn't?
No. She's
How come?
Very beautiful and such a talent. Lindsay Holmes hands. Lindsay Holmes hands.
Lindsay Joe Holmes hands, yes.
Lindsay Lohan wakes up one day to discover she has the hands of Jonathan Holmes, who has been dead this past 40 years. And the hands start making her do things.
She would be terrified if she had my hands. She would be mortified, very disappointed, and terrified, too.
Mm. I mean, she's a very frail Witch King of Angmar kind of figure. And you have mighty bear-like paws.
They're a little big, yeah.
She'd look like a Disney animal character, but if the hands weren't gloves, they were just big hands.
Yeah, I could see it now. It's like it's a movie. She's praying at night that she could have cartilage in her nose again, and then wakes up with your hands instead.
Oh!
Oof.
Brutal,
Oof.
if I may say so, and harsh. But she's such a talent. Welcome back, Conrad.
Oh yes, Conrad, you were missed last week.
Thank you.
Welcome
yes, we have moved. I've relocated like 23 blocks from my old apartment.
That's plenty of blocks to carry all that stuff. computers and stuff.
My question
was,
is going to
a
be,
few
do
carloads.
you still have the other one? Because in my mind, if you don't move far enough away from your old house or apartment, you have to keep it.
It still feels like it's mine. They haven't done the walkthrough yet. I'm waiting to hear about my deposit. I'm sure I'm getting mail delivered there. It's awesome.
Yeah,
So it doesn't feel like I'm out, but yeah, living with Jordan DeVore, which is like I haven't felt this productive, and I don't think I've ever felt this productive.
He's a productive man.
Oh, yeah, he just goes
He
all
puts
day
us all
long.
to shame.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my days, because I am excessively lazy, most of my days are spent writing until I see his name, and I think, yep, that's good.
And he always
Have a
seems,
drink and sit down and watch Rock of Love with Bret Michaels.
he never seems that stressed out, Jordan. He'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And it's just all of it. Then he just does all of that
Yeah.
with a mild
A
smile.
shrug and a sigh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
He's
Oh,
got
I'm leveling up.
The cold, calm, and deficient demeanor of a sociopath.
We were looking at the schedule today, and thinking, oh, we gotta fill this in, gotta get some stories, and he's like, yeah, I've already written 6 today. I just got up.
He's a maniac.
Yeah.
Good man, though.
Yeah,
Very
good man.
Good man.
Yeah. So anyway, so I've got this fantastic view of an industrial park from out of my window, which is pretty
That's not
cool.
fantastic sounding.
No, that's not bad.
Shitting on all our dreams.
Oh, industrial parks are rarely aesthetically all that pleasing, are they?
It's better than looking at the side of another building. It's better than looking down on the bar crowd coming out of the Bro Bar across the street from my old building. It's better than looking into the windows of a public housing facility, which has been fun for the last 3 years. I can see Mount St. Helens from my window. This is a step up.
Oh, yeah, mountains are good.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Oregon has mountains in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the many things you can learn listening to Podtoid about Oregon.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you've ever learned about Oregon.
You may never learn another thing about Oregon.
No, fuck off. Crack open a book, you arrogant child.
Lazy!
Absolutely lazy, listeners. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so sick of our listeners.
Really?
Oh, you think you have it bad, Jonathan?
Sometimes I do.
You think you have it bad? That
Every once in a while, a bad happens. I don't have it bad.
Your career is swamped with people associating you with anuses, and you can't achieve anything in life without someone bringing up your arse, right?
Well,
imagine what it's like for me.
What? What do you mean? Well, how is it for you?
It's actually I've got it way better than you. But oh my god, just the demands for Podtoid all the time. Because I'm the gatekeeper. I'm the one. I'm the dealer. I'm the one with the hashish.
It's true.
And all the listeners are potheads, probably figuratively and literally, and all the time.
Terracottas, the whole lot of them.
Yeah.
One pot after another.
Oh!
Hey-o!
Hey! You've been missed. Actually, that sounded sarcastic. You actually are. They liked last week's. It's nobody's favourite. I thought...
I haven't listened to it yet, actually. I keep meaning to, because I see some things... I've been reading the wiki, and, which is just a joy all the time. Go check out the Podtoid wiki, and if you know of fan art that's not in there, get it to those people. And it's actually becoming like a Destructoid wiki, or at least like a Destructoid multimedia wiki. They've got pages for all the video shows we've done, and I don't want to say it's getting out of hand or anything, because this is all kind of stuff that I would really like someone to do someday. Organize this crap for us. But it's getting big. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I did. I saw comments. I was very touched that people were, missing me. That felt good. I liked it.
Well, you've become an invaluable limb on the live torso.
Your third leg, as it were.
The third leg of Podtoid. Because I thought, well, Okay, we'll do a two-man show. We used to do them a lot before we brought you on full time. So if anything, we'll do a little. It'll be a bit nostalgic for the children. No, they don't like nostalgia a lot. They've come to accept we are a holy trinity. A holy trinity. Like I said, holy Jonathan.
What? So? What do you mean?
And that can't be broken anymore. We're like the sisters from Charmed.
From Chant?
Charmed.
Oh, Charmed. But they did break that. Shannon Doherty left, and then...
It became the worst show.
Then that other one, the bland one, who I actually kind of liked, but she was... bland.
Wow, you actually kind of are describing it, though. Hamza left. The bland one came on.
No, you're not the bland one. But Hamza is very Shannon Doherty.
So is this canon in Charmed also? Or are we canon in Charmed?
I can't see why not.
I think that's up to Joss Whedon. He gets no say whether Podtoid is or not. But he would have to decide if Charmed is part of the Buffyverse. If I had my way,
right.
I could only assume perhaps a fictional version of Podtoid is in Charmed. Maybe hosted by Tommy Tallarico, who didn't go on to become a famous video game composer, and instead just got very fat and started blogging for Destructoid, which was founded and operated by Shigeru Miyamoto. So that's what happens in Charmed. We will merge the canon if Joss Whedon says it's all right, but considering he doesn't even know about this one, I don't know if he can come to a consensus on made-up fictional versions of us.
I want to think about who, if you're Tommy Tallarico, who could I be?
A booth babe.
And Conrad, would Conrad be like Michael Pachter or something?
That would be a good one, actually.
Actually, yeah.
Michael Pachter, Tommy Tallarico, and Anne Booth Babe.
Can we make that happen somehow?
Yeah, if we were doing an April Fool's week, that would have been a good week.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get around to responding to you. You wanted
okay.
a plan for it.
My wife actually did ask.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
I said, we didn't care about any of you. So.
Maybe we'll just do it for shits one day.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. I think my only misgiving was like, it doesn't have to be for fools. It's not like these ladies are fools.
This show we do every week is for fools.
Yeah.
All of the time, forever.
My concern was that they would outclass us entirely. Like, it would be really interesting and dynamic and focused on games, and the audience would love it, and then they'd kick our asses right out.
Yeah, we'd be replaced forever. And I would be bitter about that. And start bullying my wife, like the voice of Darky in The Land Before Time's dad did.
Darky?
I did not say that. I was doing leading into a wonderful little joke about, infanticide, and you've turned it racial.
I thought you said that there's a character
in
Land Before Time named Darky.
I love you, you blew it. She's called Ducky anyway. She used to go, yup, yup, yup.
Ducky?
Yeah.
Not that familiar
with that. Yup. And then her dad killed her, the voice actress.
Silly Ducky. SIDS is for kids.
Yeah. Fucked up.
What? Someone that killed a dinosaur? I don't understand.
Yes, that's what happened. That's how the dinosaurs got extinct. Someone killed one, and then everyone thought, that looks great, we're all going to do it. And like all market saturation led to a crash.
Speaking of that, we should talk about LucasArts closing. Also, speaking of nostalgia.
Yeah, why did you do that, Jonathan?
What do you mean?
Why did you close down LucasArts?
I didn't. I was sad when they closed.
Yeah, it's sad. What was the first game you brought up? It was just something quintessentially you that you would bring that one up.
Zack McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders, which actually was my second thought right after Maniac Mansion. Yeah.
I wasn't sure. For people who haven't played it, Zack McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders is the second Scum System game. The first being Maniac Mansion. The third being the one everyone knows, which is Monkey Island. But before that, there was Zach McCracken. Totally blew my mind. It was like, Jim, you...
Or did it bend... Oh, I can't even finish that sentence.
Jim, I got a little... got caught in there. Jim, you've talked about how for you, Final Fantasy VII was the game, and maybe Metal Gear as well. Those were the games that made you be like, whoa, you can depict a world in a game. It's not just about running around and doing stuff. You can go to places, you can meet people, you can tell a story, you can have characterization and blah, blah, blah. For me, that was Zach McCracken. That was the game that made me be like, I can play a video game where I just go in my living room and turn on the TV.
Well, Jonathan Holmes,
make a phone call.
I can play a game where I go in your living room.
You can?
Yeah, we don't need alien mind benders to do that. I can visit Boston right now and go in your living room.
No, I mean, don't do it. I'm picturing you doing it.
Yeah.
It would be really awkward.
I'm talking about pissing and shitting, obviously, on your floor.
Why are you talking? Why would you?
Well, I mean, why wouldn't I? If I'm going to do a shit, some piss is going to come out. Obviously, I'm going to piss and shit.
You could not and be friends, good friends,
and
still.
Have it all stuck up in me. And
you
then
can go to the bathroom?
Farts, and the farts will smell extra bad because they'll have to have come through poo first.
Is that how it works?
That must be how it works. Years have taught me that's gotta be what's at work there. And then, but with the smell of that, I might as well just be actually shitting.
No.
Because it's going to be worse over a longer period of time if I'm just impregnating your walls and ceiling with a shitty smell. Might as well just get the load on the floor, and then you can pick that up with a inside-out plastic bag on your hand, put that on the poo, and then turn the bag inside out back again as you lift, so that then the poo's fully bagged. You just swing that a few times around the handles, tie that off, pop it in a wheelie bin. And then we can get on with Sunday brunch.
No.
Brunches with Sterling. A new TV show. For the Oprah network.
Oprah's gonna air that?
Yeah. Why wouldn't she? I'll phone her up, I'll say, hello Oprah Winfrey. She'll go, hello. I'll say, right, I've got a show for you. Me, teen heartthrob Jim Sterling, with preschool heartthrob Jonathan Holmes.
What does that mean?
I'm gonna go to his house for Sunday brunch, do a poo in his living room. He's gonna bag it up and drop it in a bin once a week. $6,000 for that. We'll kickstart the rest. Will you be pissing as well as shitting? She will ask. Yes. Fucking great. I'll have 6 shows to start with, and we'll do a yearly contract if I like it. And it sounds like I'm gonna fucking love it. And she just hangs up, and I don't even have any further contact details for her. I've got to phone her up again, just to get the fucking show off the road. Bloody inconvenient. Dramatic hang-ups. She learned that from Hollywood. Life doesn't operate that way, Oprah. You gotta have a full conversation. You can't just hang up all the time after you've made your point. Christ.
LucasArts closed. You see. The Disney's closed them.
Yeah.
They were like, we already got Game Company. We don't need this game. We're gonna buy a game company. We're buying it from you, Lucas. We're spending this money up front. $billion or something. Some billion. Then they got it, and then they were like, you know what? We're just gonna not have it now.
And I think
They didn't care about the studio. It was never about the studio. It was, and the studio is a shell of its former glory. It's not the thing we're nostalgically remembering as producing these fantastic adventure games. This is the group of people that put together Force Unleashed. And there's nothing wrong with, well, okay, there might be a few things that aren't so great about Force Unleashed, but it's not the same organization. So
Well, it's a different
that there, but it was bought because the properties that they have are valuable.
Yeah. Well, they just bought the whole Lucas shebang.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
they brought everything. They wanted Star Wars and got Star Wars, and the rest of it was ancillary. I do believe Disney itself just isn't interested in video games anymore. They care about the mobile division, and I guess they've got the Disney Infinity thing coming. But as a thing, they're not that interested anymore. They want to go way more into the social mobile thing, which is fine. I see a lot of companies are going to end up doing that when they flee from the console industry like deer coming out of a flaming forest. But it's still sad to think that it is gone, you know, in body, if not in name. Because I believe they're going to keep the name just to attach it to Star Wars games. Although, you know, and have other developers do them. But obviously it does have this legacy and this very iconic history. So people are sad, even if it was a shell that died. Things
and
like this kind
I
of
can
drive
see
it
that.
home.
And it is unfortunate that, you know, I mean, you never want to see people become unemployed for that matter, which is, you know, obviously a consequence of this also. It's not like I'm like, hey, great, LucasArts is dead or anything, but it's just another in a long series of sad but kind of predictable scenarios. I don't think that the layoff came as that much of a surprise to the people at LucasArts. You know, I would expect. I mean, there are trends that you can sort of follow. This is how this works, and if I would expect there's a lot of resume polishing going on in the days immediately following the acquisition.
Well, I would say any studio acquired by a big publisher, the employees would be wise to get their CVs up to date, just in case. I mean, that same goes for the press these days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if someone owns you, be ready to look for a new owner. Always. Just seems to be a wise thing. But no, sad times. I think we've all, you know, played at least one LucasArts game over the years that stuck with them. Probably
I have Maniac Mansion. Every single combination of kids you can play that game with, I have front and back save floppy disks for my Commodore 64. They're in my closet. I just saw them the other day. Like that you know, for Holmes and him saying that, you know, Zach McCracken showed him that you could travel to worlds and see that, and you do. You go to Mars, which is awesome. Maniac Mansion drove home the idea that a game didn't have to be the same way every time you played it.
That's
and that there were different approaches.
I will be honest, I'm stuck on where you say combination of kids, and I'm imagining an ethnically diverse, short Frankenstein's monster.
Well, but it kind of is. That's
especially
the way the
when
game
you
functions.
accidentally said front and black before you said front and back.
Well, I was thinking of Michael and Bernard. I always take Bernard just because he's the nerdy character and he's fun. And then Michael, he's the photographer. And he does happen to be of African American, you know, so be it.
And then Dave. Isn't Dave the main guy?
Dave's the main guy. Yep. Don't be a tuna head.
Fate of Atlantis was the one I just remember more than anything else.
Indiana Jones. Right?
Very well crafted.
You know, I don't ever remember getting far. Me and my brother used to play those kinds of games together, where he'd be the control monkey and I'd be the brain. And I don't know why we had that set up, but we did that with all the Dizzy games as well. Like, he'd put the stuff in, but I was the one doing all the thinking. And we'd work together and we'd pitch in on games like this. All I remember now, though, is just the opening thing with the theatre and everything. But good times. And the Jedi Academy games, I have a lot of fondness for.
I don't know if I ever played those.
They were like the old first-person shooters.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You could do a force choke, and a force go away.
I just remembered that the bad Indiana Jones game for the Wii has Fate of Atlantis in it. So I should go buy that now before it's too late.
Are they on GOG?
I don't think the Wii game is there, but the LucasArts games, I don't think they're on GOG either.
I don't think so. No, that is sad.
I
And
can't
now
believe
they
I
won't
forgot
be?
about that awful Indiana Jones game, which had so much promise.
It could have been fun to play.
Oh,
Was not. Yeah, but
it's a really depressing day.
Oh, this feels bad. I'm still thinking about Maniac Mansion. Conrad, do you remember what stuff it came with? I'm remembering like a poster that was like a fake cork board.
Yeah, it was a fake cork board, and it had like various like notes left by characters in the game. Like I think there's one from Professor Edison that comments on like the missing a tentacle, or how they're not playthings, or something like that. And there's like a phone number advertisement for an apartment or something. Yeah, all
And the
sorts
missing woman, I can't remember her name all of a sudden.
It's
not Jessica.
It's Sandy.
Sandy, that's it. Yeah, she leaves a note behind and a phone number. Zach McCracken came with a little newspaper that I still have. I love that newspaper, a fake newspaper.
That was something pioneered by Infocom, the Feelies.
Oh, Feelies.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Oh,
anti-piracy measure. Well, I say good. They could be downright rotten.
Yeah, effective.
Back in the days when you needed game manuals because all the passwords and things you needed to type in were on them.
Oh, but the Infocom games were never like that. They were just like weird little bonus things that would come in the package. Like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy would come with a pair of peril-sensitive sunglasses, which are, you wear them, and whenever peril is in your view, they go completely black, so you don't see it, so you're not scared.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just these cardboard sunglasses that are all black, and a piece of it's like a cotton ball is a piece of fluff, and that's relevant to the game. They're just little goodies.
Oh yeah, I mean they were a big thing back then, and we still have them. But now they charge you $100 for them,
right?
And call them limited editions.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Good things.
Someone will figure it out.
Oh, that is good. So that's sad. And then the company that's working on the Deadpool game, what was it, Hothead or High Moon? They did the Transformers, the recent Transformers games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim likes those. Jim?
What?
You like the new Transformers games a little.
Oh God, we on High Moon?
Yeah,
they
are dying too, right?
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'll just say what I said, what I tweeted when I heard it was just, of course, one of the talented studios, definitely. That's great. Do that. Fucking hell, video games.
Well, has Deadpool shipped? Is it gone gold? Like, are they? I know it's not out yet, but
They've not announced it as far as I can tell.
It can't be that far off now, I don't think. I have to check that.
It's got to be near done. I mean, like I said, the studio's not dead. They just had layoffs.
Right. So, I mean, this could just be a natural contraction.
It could, but
of the talent as they move, from one project to another. Although summer is what we have for the release range, so
one has to wonder whether Fall of Cybertron did all that well.
Yeah.
Because I believe the first one, War for Cybertron, must have done okay to get the sequel, but the sequel did come out with a lot less fanfare, and in my opinion, it wasn't as good. A lot of people thought it was better. So, who can tell what the market thought overall? But it's a shame. I really like High Moon. They clearly gave a shit about the licenses that they worked with, and now it seems Transformers games are forever in the hand of Beanox or whatever that other fucking studio is that churns out drivel.
Are we in trouble? Are you guys worried?
I'm not worried.
That the industry is getting more poor and sad?
No?
Jonathan,
Yeah?
right? Listen to this. Listen to this, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's this?
I don't know what that is. Banging?
It's my fucking computer.
Oh.
That's my fucking gaming PC. I ain't fucking worried one shit. I've got a download right now for a demo for a game called Dreadout.
What's a Dreadout?
If all the consoles go, I've got another scary ghost game about taking pictures of ghosts with a camera called Dreadout. I don't even need Fatal Frame anymore.
Woof. I didn't know about Dreadout.
You don't know about Dreadout, do you?
No, well,
that's food for fucking thought, isn't it? Sorry, we're talking about PC gaming now, so I have to be incredibly obnoxious and rude. You miserable, scrotal chimp. I'm playing a game called Evoland, Jonathan Holmes. I don't even need the legendary Zelda or your vinyl fantasies.
Vinyl?
Yes.
What's Evoland?
I was actually going to recommend this game to you, Jonathan.
Yeah?
Because it's lots of fun. Playing it now, it's out this week. At the time of my talking, it's not out yet, but it should be out Thursday. On Steam, on Good Old Games. Is it on Good Old Games? But it's out. I know you can buy it direct from their official site, from Evoland. You just do a quick search for it and you'll find it. But it's a role-playing game. A very clever one. Because you start with this little black and white pixely NES-like... Well, it looks more like a Game Boy game.
Okay.
It's top-down. The music's very reminiscent of Zelda. But there's no music to start with. And you can just move... I think you can just move to the right. And there's a little chest there. You move to the right, and then you collect the chest, and you unlock free movement around the map. You free move around the map. Eventually, you find other chests all around this overworld that will give you a sword to fight with. Fully directional movement, so you can go diagonal. Eventually, you unlock full color graphics. Then, eventually, you unlock enhanced graphics. So it goes from looking a bit like an NES game to a bit more like an SNES game. And then you can unlock music, and then you unlock an overworld, you unlock a town, and you can go in the town, and then unlock all the NPCs for it with other little chests. And eventually you work your way up to unlocking 3D graphics. And then suddenly it looks like an alpha build for an N64 game or something. And then you unlock HD 3D graphics. And then you unlock pixely textures on the HD 3D graphics, and then you've got the full game. So it, as the name implies, it's evolving from this little Game Boy version of itself up to, I guess it goes up to, we'd say, PlayStation 1 era.
Huh.
And all the while, you're also fighting between different modes of play. If you're in an area, in like a dungeon or somewhere, you've got this top-down view, and you're stabbing things just like Zelda. You end up unlocking heart point containers. Your main character's called Clink, and is wearing a green tunic like Link, and has the hair and Buster Sword of Cloud. And when you're in the overworld, or when you're in the world map, it's a full-on turn-based, like, active time battle system. So you've got these two different modes of play. And that's cool. It's got its little jokes, its little self-referential things. It's got a full-on card game with NPCs like Triple Triad or Tetramaster from Final Fantasy. And eventually it gets to the point where you find these crystals, which you can then use to switch between the 3D and the 2D graphics to solve different puzzles. Because depending on the perspective, some things are impassable in one mode while usable in the other. So if there's like a tree that's in your way, you can hit it in the 3D version, you hit the crystal, go back to 16-bit, and then the tree is just this little speck of shrubbery on the background of the map. So you can just walk over it. And then you switch between the two modes to solve different puzzles and get around the world.
Well, geez, that sounds like who's got anything bad to say about that game? That's all the games.
I thought
it's all
you'd dig it.
Good things in it, yeah.
Especially with your opinions on graphics. And that's obviously a big part of it, is the switch between these two graphic styles. I thought as I was playing, I thought this is something you'd really dig, and I'm really enjoying it. I've not beaten it yet. It's only just opened up for me. It's very simplistic up till then. It's very much hinging on its joke. But then it just suddenly does this turn on you, and it's like, actually, we're going to do something clever. And then it starts doing all the different shifty puzzles. So far, it's been a real good laugh. It's been good stuff.
Well, more than anything, I like video games about video games. I love No More Heroes, in part because it's about what it's like to be a video game character and to kind of know it and to deal with the fact that you're there to please both the player and the person who made the video game, which is Sylvia in that game, and coming to grips with that. And they get more into it in No More Heroes 2. He actually gets pissed off and says he's sick of being a video game character. But they're pretty rare, video games about video games, and I hope that changes as more people who are making games grew up with them as just kind of the medium of choice for them. Yeah. Instead of, 20 years ago, it was people from other fields, be it electronics or comic books or whatever. They're like, oh, I guess I'll try this video game thing. But they didn't grow up with them as kind of a force of force of something.
I think it all goes toward making video games more of an art form that can stand on its own without having to lean on other kinds of entertainment.
Yeah.
Once you gets to the point where you can stop having to use Hollywood as a frame of reference for everything, and you can just reference other video games, which is something I look forward to being able to do. And I've played a few games lately that do that, that are about video games, or at least use video games as their reference rather than something else. Because as well as Evoland, which at the moment, like I said, I need to do a full review and beat it, but right now it's looking like a unquestionable recommendation, especially if you've got love for Zelda and Final Fantasy, because the game wears its adoration for those two games on its sleeve. So that's good. I've also played Organ Trail Director's Cut recently, which we reviewed on Destructoid, which is a full-on riff on Oregon Trail, but obviously replaces that scenario with a zombie apocalypse, and is surprisingly brilliant and well worth playing. And also played DLC Quest as well, which also came to Steam Greenlight recently, and is again has your typical retro-y graphics and music, but is all about, in a similar way to Evoland actually, you start only able to move to the right and unlock things, but in that game you have to keep collecting coins and going back to a merchant and buying DLC upgrade packs in order to solve any problem in the game. And it's just a nice little piss take of excessive DLC practices in games, which is a fun little joke.
Absolutely. It sounded fun. I read that review. It seemed like it was worth... it doesn't take terribly long to get through, and it's not terribly expensive, so it doesn't wear out its welcome or ask too much of you. So it seemed like a good deal.
Yeah, definitely. It's like $4, $3, and well worth it.
Speaking of jokes, there were jokes on April Fools, I guess. Did you like any of them? The jokes that happened?
No. Because the better jokes were things that were so awesome they should be real. Sorry, there's hiccups now.
Oh,
awesome stuff that should be real, Jonathan. You know this, because you talked about one of them.
Yeah, and I have repeatedly asked employees, plural, at Way Forward. They never told me it was a joke. Everyone thinks it's a joke. It's probably a joke. But I've said, okay, guys, April Fool's is over. Was that a joke or not? And they're like, oh, of course it's not a joke. That game's coming. Fall 2013, we said. It's coming. And I'm like, okay, so I'll get fired if you don't make that game. Because I didn't post it as April Fool's
You
joke.
did post it as legit.
I was like, this game is going to be the best game ever.
And we should just, for the listeners who might not know,
Sure.
The game is called Cat Girl Without Salad. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Cat Girl Without Salad. And describe the game for the boys and girls.
Well, from the press release, which they put out on March 31st, WayForward did, it's coming to Nintendo 3DS, DS, Wii, Wii U, XBLA, PSN, PS Vita, PC, iOS, and Android this fall. And it is a game that combines puzzle, platformer, shoot 'em up, action, shooter, adventure, strategy, fighting, rhythm, arcade, horror, tactical, RPG, third-person shooter, real-time strategy, and visual novel in a game about a cat girl named Kabako, who is a female space bounty hunter and a 4-star chef. And she's searching for love and adventure in intergalactic space seas. She's joined by the Calamarites on a quest to rid the cosmos of the notoriously tardy Neko clan. And it looks like an awesome shoot 'em up with a girl who has a Gatling gun for an arm, and she hangs around with robot squids. And it looks like she's shooting some Tetris blocks while coins are coming at her, and flying cat heads, and a woman named Madame Cat is forming a giant block to kill her with, and she's got a sword, and she's got an angel wing and a devil wing, and she's also dancing if like Dance Dance Revolution style arrows are going on simultaneously. So it is the best.
Why would anybody have any doubt as to whether or not this was a legitimate product?
Yeah, for some reason people think it's a joke.
I mean, why would anyone think that that's a joke?
If it turns out to be a joke, I don't know how, but I will make WayForward pay for their lies and their continued... Yeah, I mean, you lie to a buddy. You tell him something's true, and it's not. And it's something really good, too. You know, you call up Jim Sterling and say, Jim Sterling, this just in. All the fellatio you want. Forever. Jim. Forever. I'm just Fellatio Town. You're moving to it. I'm the mayor and Fellatio du jour. Forever. And then and he's like, great. And then
I get to be the mayor of Fellatio Town. That's brilliant. When are we doing this?
Exactly. That's how you feel about it. And you're thinking, oh, this seems a little bit too good to be true. This could be some sort of joke. He is telling me this on April Fool's, but why would Jonathan...
Yeah, but you didn't tell me this on April Fool's.
This is April 3rd. Yeah.
Right. So when do I get...
This is hypothetical.
When do I get the key to Fellatio Town? When do I get to be mayor of Fellatio Town? You just said...
Like a good friend, I'm going to tell you now, oh, Jim, I was joking. That was one of those lie jokes. You know,
I will
telling
make
a lie for
you
fun.
pay.
And I didn't even leave you hanging for very long.
You lied to me! Now what am I going to do with this bunk on? Stick it in a beehive again.
Oh, that sounds... Whoa, that hurt just thinking about it.
Only for a moment. And then it's kind of a pleasant numbing sensation.
Yeah. Eventually you lose all sensation below the waist. And in bits of your face. They get everywhere, those angry bees. Yeah,
I'd imagine they'd go hog wild on you. But still, why would you just tell a lie for a joke? A lie that's clearly...
That's April Fool's.
That's not funny.
Because thanks to the internet, that's the only joke you can do, is just lies. Holiday fun lies.
I thought YouTube's was funny. Because it was so ridiculous that there was no possible way you could imagine it were true. But still well executed and cute, and they went all the way with it, which is nice. What they did, they announced that they had now stopped accepting, or they were going to stop accepting new videos at midnight on April 1st. And then they would turn the site off for 10 years while they go through all the videos that have been uploaded. And then we'll return in 2023 with a new site that's just the best video ever made. And so if you were a YouTube uploader and you went back and and you were in your video manager all of your videos had little trophy icons next to them indicating that they'd been nominated in the contest.
Oh,
And they did a whole big produced video. They got Antoine Dodson, the vlogger made famous by the bed intruder.
Sure. Hide your
auto-tune
kids,
news.
hide your wife. Sure.
Yep. Yeah. And so he's a judge in the contest, and they shot him talking and collaborating, and saying, sure, Citizen Kane is great, but I really think Guy Kicks Bee's Nest is, I mean, it comes to a guy and he's like, we're gonna do this for all 150,000 videos. And you're just like, oh god.
That is a good one.
What was Netflix's? Do you guys know? I heard
they put a whole line of they had the whole different lines of movies separated by genre. Mm-hmm. One genre was just entirely Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And I believe that what's the name of the woman who plays the mum?
Estelle Getty, I think. That's
it. Yeah, it wasn't listed. The genre was listed as movies starring Estelle Getty and some other guy. and I believe I never saw this one myself. I believe they also put a new episodes tag in front of the art for Firefly.
Oh wow!
Which I saw. Yeah, I only saw the image itself out of context, so I don't know if they actually did that one. But if they did, hats off for the brazen suicidal nature of it.
And if it wasn't them, because I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just screen capped their thing and doctored that. I would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I did it, but I would do that.
But yeah, the other ones I had were just things that were awesome. Like, why not, Think Geek, actually do the chestburster in a can toy? Like, that's so doable.
Mm.
That wasn't a fun joke. That was just being horrible for me.
Well, but doesn't Think Geek kind of have... I mean, it's entirely possible that if that idea caught on with enough people that they would actually make it.
Actually, in fairness, I do hear they do that a lot. Like, they'll put up a joke thing, people like it, and they do it. I hope that one comes
real. That is a great idea.
Yeah.
I think they also did a fake, BMO from Adventure Time. Like a fake BMO console that plays all the games that are actually in the show Adventure Time. I think there's at least 4 or 5. There's an Abe Lincoln fighting game and a game called Compy's Castle, stuff like that.
That's easy money.
Yeah, just make that for those games. You could get a programmer, graphics guy to make them in a few weeks and then just put it out for $60.
They needn't be all that good even. It would be the novelty value alone, but to be able to play with it would be awesome.
I've just had the best idea.
You did?
Oh my god. Okay. So what they need to do is they need to make an alien egg, right? That has a suction cup so that you can stick it to any surface, right? And you put it over someone's bed, and here's what's awesome about it, is that it has a timer on it, and you just crank it up, but you never really know when it's going to go off, so it just sits there and hangs. Until it opens, it just springs out a face hugger.
That's very nice.
Just a big face hugger.
You could do all sorts of things with that. Like, they have those toys with the motion trackers that say things when you walk past. Mm-hmm. They could have it spring open for that, or... Think Geek, hire us.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, most of mine will be Jonathan Holmes inflatables, but for every 10 of them will be half a good idea.
Half a good aliens idea.
Yes, in all fairness. And was it Square Enix fucked with us with the Deus Ex thing?
Oh, and they released
the fake Deus Ex.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but they were going to do Human Defiance. Yeah, and they showed this 16-bit glimpse of Deus Ex, and again, I'd play that. I want to play an old remake of Deus Ex. Do it.
Do you think it's their time? Like, April Fool's is their time to be like, oh, we have these good ideas that we don't think are profitable or wise, but
here are the things the publishers said no to.
Right. So it's fun for us to pretend we get to make games we want to make, but we can't.
I think we'll be at that point when a dozen games come out starring a woman. It's like, here's a game with a female protagonist. Yeah, guys, it's a joke. Haha. I am sad.
Speaking of that, we've got an exclusive interview with the guys making Remember Me right now on Destructoid.com. Our man Vito did that.
Hey, I'll remember to check it out.
Oh my god, you sound so much like Garth Marenghi. It's ridiculous.
I don't sound like him. It's bad
Garth
enough I
Marenghi?
look like him.
No, I swear, no, it's not like your voice. It's not that your voice sounds like him. It's your tone and inflection.
Oh, like the social choices, the verbal...
It's like, I'm a fan of Garth Marenghi, but the similarities are purely, I don't know, like, not
What the heck
deliberate.
is he?
No,
Who
I
is
don't
this
think
Garth
they're deliberate
Marenghi?
at all. Like, I don't think you're aping him. It's just so funny how in line with what I think of your sense of humor and what I would see watching Garth Marenghi.
Yeah. The more,
And-
the more I try not to look like him, the more I end up looking like him.
Who the heck is this Garth Marenghi guy?
Okay, do yourself the world's best favour, Jonathan,
Yeah? Okay.
and track down a show called Dark Place. Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Oh, you've talked about this before, I
I
think.
probably have, yeah.
Did
but
they do the League of Gentlemen later?
No.
guy? Oh, different.
These are all different people. One of the guys went on to do the IT crowd.
I think one of the guys in Dark Place was one of the guys also in League of Gentlemen, but secondary in both of them. I mean, he just like he had a bit part in Dark Place, and he was also in Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I don't think so.
The guy, the sideburns, the redhead, the ginger with sideburns. I swear to God, it's the same guy. No,
No, that was Mark Gatiss was a character in prosthetic ginger sideburns in the League of Gentlemen. It's not the same guy though.
oh man,
But
God, he looks just like him. It's creepy.
but no, Dark Place is well worth checking out. It is uniquely brilliant.
I even watched Man to Man with Dean Lerner.
I only ever saw the first episode of that with actually Garth Marenghi in it.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good too, but it's nothing like Dark Place, which is just brilliant. I love watching the Dean Lerner character actually become a better actor as episodes go on.
Just the sheer detail that went into that show. Because it's very easy to make something that, it is shit and that is the joke. But they worked so hard to make Dark Place look brilliantly shit. Like, just little jokes that you wouldn't even really get without even knowing about the craft.
Right.
What the heck are you talking about?
Tiny subtle things like one actor who's not talking, his lips moving while someone else is talking.
Is it a
and
parody
saying
of
their
something, or
lines.
what is it?
It's basically...
It's a fictional show produced in the 1980s and now released in 2004.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly like what I like.
It's kind of like Kingdom Hospital.
Yeah, it's an occult hospital drama.
Yeah, and Garth Marenghi is a fictional horror author who is...
Writes, directs, produces, and stars.
Yeah, and basically half the show is just a tribute to himself, living vicariously through this character, and putting in his own sort of racist views and ignorant ideas into
So
it.
much misogyny. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jeez, why wasn't the show a hit? It sounds like a winner.
I don't know. It didn't help.
6 episodes and
It didn't help that Channel 4 put it out when it originally ran at ungodly hours of the night.
Sure.
And it eventually got a nice cult following after it came out on DVD, and I believe Adult Swim picked it up for a run in the US. But it's a brilliant show. Do check it out. And unfortunately, I love the show, but I am doomed, apparently, whenever I'm in my Jimquisition attire to be called Garth Marenghi by many people. Because we do look shockingly similar.
you see, and now I don't see much of like a comparison between what you do on Jimquisition and the Garth Marenghi stuff that I've been watching in Jimquisition. I don't see that connection. I see it here in a casual conversation.
It's more when because I wear these gunner glasses.
Well, the visual I totally
Yeah.
get. Yeah.
And I started, when my hair gets a bit longer and I've got it swept back, that's when it all comes together. But yeah, Garth Marenghi is me, apparently. I'm happy to keep the spirit alive.
I think it's
Yeah,
wonderful.
it's not like you're copying someone who's gone on to big success like Justin Bieber or something, and you're just aping a Bieber for the bucks.
I should ape a beaver for the Bucks.
You could ape a Bieber for the bucks. There's so many little things I've almost said this week on Podtoid, but just didn't. I was going to
so
say
far,
that
Ape of Beaver for the Bucks is the best.
Yes.
that did come out, I guess. I was going to talk about foreign skin back a long time ago when we were saying something about something terrible. I think about Lindsay Lohan maybe, or sex crimes. I'm not sure. Do you guys know about foreign skin? Have I talked about that already?
Foreign skin.
Yeah.
It's... No.
No, you sure?
This isn't racist, is it?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Oh, God.
I've got a friend. He was the first bass player in Johnny Holmes and the friggin' Speed Bumps, my high school funk rock punk band. And he went on to write a song that would end up in the DVD release of Dawson's Creek, but not the TV show, which is a strange crown to wear. You remember Norah Jones? No? Nobody?
I remember the name. I could never
the name
actually
rings a
remember the
bell.
song.
She had a hit song that was in Dawson's Creek, but they couldn't get the rights for the DVD version, so they're like, how about you, guy? And he's like, sure, here's a song, and it's in there. I'm pretty proud of him for that. But probably the best thing he's ever done is one day in the car, he was like, I just suddenly had an idea for a movie. I'm like, really? What's your movie about? He's like, you know Hanson? The boys in Hanson? I'm like, yep, I know them. He's like, they get kidnapped by aliens. And then they're sleeping, and then they wake up, and they touch their own skin, and they're like, guys, I think we're in foreign skin. And there's just an hour and a half of them in mirrors, like touching their skin and thinking, like, is this our skin? Or did they replace our skin with other skin? This isn't my skin, I don't think. And like touching nipples and butts and stuff. Being like, is this your skin? And that's it. That's the movie.
Oh,
I thought about it for a while.
I say we do that, but we introduce another Hanson brother played by Willem Dafoe, who's in there with them, also going, I can't tell if this is my skin. Is this my skin, brothers?
He's brothers with the Hanson. I get it now. I thought he meant like a funky soul brother, but he meant a Hanson brother.
Yeah. See, is.
Yeah, we'll just get the drummer out of there and replace him with Willem Dafoe. No one will notice the difference.
Foreign Skin starring Willem Dafoe and some of Hanson.
If somebody made a movie poster of that, I could then email that to my friend and he'd be like, why are you talking about the ideas I'm embarrassed that I can't help but have? And I'd be like, I like them. I'm sorry. He came up with that like 12 years ago. I still think about it.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you who else has been having ideas that they should be embarrassed about.
Who's that?
Oh, God. You won't believe it. You will not believe it when I tell you who's sent me a text today, Jonathan.
Who sent you a text today?
It's only ruddy bloody Trent Reznor.
Oh, him.
Bloody... the so-called pop star from Nine Inch Nails and How to Destroy Angels. Rather than dropping fat beats in the studio, he's dropping annoying texts in my phone.
Now, he texted you last week, too, I think.
Texted me last week, too, with just resurrecting an old arrow to the knee.
Oh, that's right, the Skyrim.
Cringeworthy behaviour. Today's text, clearly he thinks he's now a fucking comedian.
Oh, no. Is it funny?
No. But clearly he thinks it is. Because he sent me the text, again, no other context, no reason for it. This tweet goes out to Crosby Stilzenash. Crosby, one word. Stilzenash, another word.
That's not a tweet.
Senash. This tweet goes out to Crosby, Stills and Nash. A text. He's sending me a tweet.
Just you,
Yeah.
an individual. You are the one who got to read that
And the thing
think
is,
about. Yeah.
he knew that I'd be thinking all this because there was a follow-up text. You're not Twitter #LOL. and he didn't do a hashtag with LOL. He wrote out in full words #LOL.
So he acknowledged that.
He thought he was being ironic, I think.
Really? And it's one of those, it's even worse than a lie joke. It's just a misspelling joke.
Yeah.
Like, I said their name wrong.
Yeah. Ha ha ha. I presented, rather than a group of people, I presented Crosby, Stills and Nash as a person. Hello, my name's Mr. Stills and Nash. My first name's Crosby. You know what, Trent? In the 90s, you were an ironic pin-up boy. You were for the alternative. You were for the downtrodden. You were for the boys whose hearts had been broken by the girls, and the girls who liked you doing your songs.
And the girls with the back tattoos and the dyed hair and the piercings.
All the girls I liked loved Nine Inch Nails and therefore did not love me because I looked nothing like Trent Reznor nor acted like him. They wanted me to be moody and understand their pain and whatever. Yeah, I guess so.
Because apparently if that behaviour then leads to this behaviour now, you're a better man for it. Because I see a man trying to recapture those days of being edgy and dark.
He said this tweet is going out to?
Yeah, like he dedicated it to this Crosby, Stills and Nash character.
Who dedicates a tweet to any? Who thinks their tweets are so important that they can have a dedication? Like,
well, he's got a lot of followers. I imagine a tweet from Trent Reznor would do very well for, say, a video game podcast that keeps mentioning him every week.
That's true.
I imagine if someone would want to tweet that if they were Trent Reznor, would be good for all involved. Not so much when it's just going to my phone, when I'm waiting for important texts from other people. You know, I'm a busy man. I get phone calls from iOS developers asking me to review their game, and because I'm so spineless, I say, yes, we'll review it, and then they send me an email and it gets ignored forever. And then I don't answer the phone for a few weeks. That's how I live my life. Trent, you're getting in the way of that. You're blowing it. You're blowing the spot. Come on, please.
I agree. I hope he stops.
It's just unprofessional.
I mean, I'm shaming him on Podtoid, but you think, well, do I want to give him the publicity and encourage him to keep doing it? But bear in mind, this has been going on for decades.
What? What's been going on for decades?
Tweets from him.
I didn't know. You just started telling us about them a month or so ago.
I still remember 1st of January 2003, tweeting to me, "New millennium, bro."
That is so late to alert you to a known, which is that it's no longer that millennium. It's the other one. It's the new one.
Yeah. September 12th, 2001. I did it.
What does that? Well, how that could so unsettling. Who knows what he did?
That's oh god.
I did it.
I did it. I don't know what he's claiming he did on that particular day. Could have been the day after he did something. I don't know. But cut it out, Trent. I've tried ignoring you for years. I've tried shaming you for weeks. You're not getting the message. And I'm not carving you off a hunk of that BBQ. And I've got 2 Twitter accounts now. Sending me messages as you.
2?
Yeah, I've got piso.bbq and texts from Trent. 2 Whoa. Twitter accounts. Now, one could assume they're Podtoid listeners having a laugh, having a lark. I can't rule out the fact it's Trent with 2 dummy accounts.
You never know. I
No,
mean, why
yeah,
wouldn't you
that
do
does sound plausible.
It's all part of his MO. So, come on, Trent.
I've got
just
an
grow
idea.
up.
It's
That's
not
it,
that
that's
good
it.
of an idea.
Grow up. That's the message. Just grow it up. You've cut your hair all nice. You've got some muscles and a girlfriend and a shirt, a nice, sensible shirt that you wear now. I wish your attitude would reflect
goofy
Trent.
with that long hair, but now I see him with the short hair, and I think, can you go back?
Well, yeah, he was clearly... when he was Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails Downward Spiral, he would not bother me. It seems he's gotten bored now that he's cleaned up. So, come on. But let's move past that. I don't want to keep giving him the oxygen.
Back on that sweet, sweet hair on. That's all.
Yeah.
Ride the dragon.
Jonathan, you said you had a funny idea.
Oh, it's not that funny. I'm
don't
just-
bother then.
I was
Conrad,
trying
what
to
are you
help
doing
you.
this weekend?
Yeah, Conrad, what are you doing?
No, come on, Jonathan. Let's hear your...
Oh, it's not. I was seriously thinking, how do you out Trent Reznor? You call Jay Mascis of Dinosaur Jr., who is even more like whiny and anti-mainstream, and get him to text Trent stuff like, don't go in there, or, that's the way love goes. Oh, that would really get him. That's the way love goes. Like, well, Jay Mascis, why are you... And, of course, Jay Mascis would never acknowledge it. That would out Trent, and maybe he would get the message and earn some empathy and stop bothering you.
I'll see if I can get that done. I mean, at this point, I'm willing to try anything. Exorcism, the Ghostbusters, anything. Because what he's doing is haunting me. I'm haunted by Trent Reznor. And, I respect your body of work, your music. I've never said a bad word about Nine Inch Nails. I don't know why he's doing this to me.
Yeah, it's like a weird attack/tribute. That must feel weird to have someone do that to you.
Yeah, I don't know anyone on this podcast who deals with anything similar remotely. Conrad?
Yes.
Conrad, several weeks ago you had a Willem Dafoe movie pitch teased.
So I'm just going to tell you what the idea was and why it doesn't work.
What? It's been scrapped? Oh, no.
Because I've been kicking it around, and I can't make it not totally fucking incomprehensibly stupid. Like, not even just there's no rationality to it, but I was standing in line at the Taco Bell, and I get my order, and he hands it to me, and my order number is 186, and I think that next fucker's dead. And then I'm like, oh my god, there it is. That's a movie idea. So you have Willem Dafoe. He was a cop, okay? So he was a cop, and that's why he has that, in his mind, those 3-number codes for criminal offenses. And so what happens to him? Maybe it's some Max Payne shit, and his wife and family get slaughtered, and he winds up in a mental institution. And while he's there, he gets reprogrammed by some villainous psychotherapist and then placed in the fast food restaurant of a someone managed by some guy who's like his compatriot, whatever. His what's the word I'm looking for? Conspirator. Right. And so certain numbers just never come up in the order, and you'd have to make a point to make that really obvious that it happens. And then he's like, your order number is 187, and the screen just goes black, and he wakes up, and it comes back, and the whole fast food restaurant's just covered in blood and organs, and he's like, what happened? And then I don't know, 90 minutes of him trying to figure out what happened.
What doesn't work about that? That's very interesting.
I think what doesn't work is that's a legit good film.
Yeah, that's just a fun idea for a movie.
I would
to
watch that.
Scary, makes you feel afraid for yourself and for the characters on screen.
Fast food fury.
I'm picturing Estelle Getty being in it now. And
so there'd have to be some kind of
that.
master plan for all of this. Like he's a prototype in a mind control.
That's the get out for any story is experiment, government experiment. That's quite good.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Oh, well,
for a scrapped idea, it's fun to think about.
Yeah.
Should I do the questions, or am I cutting us too early? I started late today. I had a meeting at work with a mom and a daughter and a strange people, and there was tears and there was talk of dads. So that's why I started so late, guys.
Did it turn out you were the father?
No.
So I've been following that case for a while.
No, but it is weird that I'm old enough to be that technically I could be the grandfather if I was very proactive at 12, and then I had a very proactive 12-year-old kid when I was 24, and they had a kid. I could be the grandfather to some people in this world. And then some of my patients are barely older than me, and they're grandmothers and fathers. It's pretty weird. But people started asking questions early, so there's already a couple.
Of course they did.
But I didn't want to cut you off, Jim, if there's something that you wanted to talk about.
I think we discussed everything.
I think so. So probably a few April Fool's jokes we didn't talk about, but
they clearly weren't good.
Yeah, not good enough to be at the forefront.
We didn't actually talk about Destructoids.
Oh yeah, we should.
It was Reddit for a day.
Redditoid. Is that right?
Yeah. I didn't get it. It confused and distressed me. But the founder of Reddit liked it.
Yeah. It was a tribute to him, I suppose, so that's nice that he...
Not the kind of tribute we hope to have for you, Jonathan.
Oh, I don't like those. I'm glad none of that's actually happened, which is at least that I'm aware of.
I actually am glad no one came on a photo of you.
Yeah, so far. People like to try to distress me and talk about it, but no one's actually gone as far to do it.
I should say, that's only because it was me orchestrating the unwanted cum advances. If you want to do it on a photo of me or Conrad, we'd both be up for it.
Is that right, Conrad?
Yeah, sure. What you do in your own home is your business.
No, but they'd film it and show you.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I would like to see them try to make me watch that.
See, we're up for a challenge.
Good luck.
We're ambitious men. Go for it. Or a photo of us all together, because then it's not just singling out Jonathan.
Yeah. No. Don't do it, guys.
Just come on something.
Well, they'll get it. They'll take a Sharpie and draw a bullseye target with scoring. That sort of progresses out from one particular point on the image. I don't know what they might choose. You could really go from anywhere.
Yeah. But the message is, if you listen to Podtoid, I think I speak for all of us when I say we want to see your semen.
No, we don't.
Just in any context will do. Just send us photos of it on, around things, in things, dripping off a ledge. Or
you're going to get the best email.
Or just on your own t-shirt. And just say, I went to Walmart in this. No one cared.
No. All right, I'm going to ask the questions now. I feel bad. Podtoid questions.
It's a poor little broken friend.
Yeah, you can make a friend feel bad. You can. Why you
made our fans feel bad the other day.
I did? When did I do that?
All I did was tweet on the weekends that your new name is Onion Joseph.
Oh yeah, that was
and
funny.
you said you were going to block anyone who called you Onion Joseph.
I didn't say, guys, don't call me Onion Joseph. Or oh no, Onion Joseph. I just said, calmly, plainly, anyone but Jim Sterling who calls me Onion Joseph will be blocked.
I think it was Stealth who got really annoyed by that favoritism.
Oh, did
he? Why is it only okay for you to say it?
I just wanted to see what would happen. And a lot of people said, "Oh, I'm really tempted to call you Onion Joseph, but I'm not going to." As if to be like, I wonder if cause and effect is real. I'm really curious if it is, but I'm not going to do it. Which was, fair enough. Then some people immediately were just like, "What's up, Onion Joseph? How you doing, Onion Joseph?"
I was surprised there were more than 2, which to me is a lot.
I think there was only 3. Like one person really seemed to revel in the idea that I would be bothered by it, as if I would block them because I was bothered. I wasn't bothered. I just wanted to see who would take the bait. And in the end, it was kind of fun to get rid of people who clearly would rather annoy me than not in the future. So if they thought they were going to annoy me, then that's great. Then I can find out about them and get them out of my life immediately.
And yet me, the serpent.
No, you're allowed.
And forever in it. The arbiter of all this. There is no justice.
Yeah, they are envious of you.
If there were justice, you would have killed me already. You would have slaughtered me in my sleep.
No,
I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you into Dallas.
The TV show?
No, the place.
Oh, just the place. Dallas?
The Screw Attack Gaming Convention. Because I'm going to be at the Screw Attack Gaming Convention as a guest.
Oh, when's that?
In June, one of the JU months. I'll have more details in the future. But I was invited on as a speaker and just a man to hang about and be a Z-list personality. Probably going to do a panel with Adam Sessler. Maybe just tell us to say things and we'll say them type of thing. And Stuttering Craig sent us a message today asking if, we want to send a journalist, I say journalist, a Destructoid person down to cover it and do coverage things, which I did on the first year. It's actually a good little laugh. And, they talk about comping stuff, and Dale's in the area already, as is Alistair. So they wouldn't need to really get them a hotel room or a plane ticket or anything. But that would free them up to do it for you, Jonathan. And you can just have a hotel room next to mine, and I'll scratch on the walls all night. That's the plan.
Like a ghost?
Like a ghost, like a big ghost cat. I just want to know that you're there, even if you can't hear it properly. I just want to know you're in the room, and for me to just scratch and.
I don't know if I
just
I
totally
wanna,
in heat. Yeah. I hear it.
Craig and you, Jim. It'd be fun to see you guys.
Just that all night. I won't even sleep.
That would be a fun movie called Ghost Cat, just starring you as a human being.
Yeah, not even wearing cat ears or anything. Just a t-shirt and shorts.
The questions came in. We can do them if you want. Jeez. Let's see. I don't even know where to start. If you were to have your left hand cut off and replaced with anything you desire, what would it be? That's from Tiny_Tim31. Maybe he's thinking of Merle.
Merle.
I guess I would want my left hand replaced with a really good robot hand. Is that just a cop-out? Probably is.
Well, I mean, most people should be saying hook, which is just a boring answer, but it's the only real answer.
It's very practical. You can use it to drive a car a little bit and to pick your nose and to make eggs and stuff.
And then when you're asleep, you humorously put a cork on the end of it. And you can use it to pull corks out of wine bottles.
Oh, you're right. Hook is better than hand in a lot of ways.
We should just cut both our hands off and replace them with hooks.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's good to have one hand. I wouldn't want to have double hook.
I want a massive hook, giant hook, and roller skates. And then I want to skate down the road and drag the hook on the ground so it makes a big screechy noise. Maybe with sparks coming off it.
Oh, sure. There'd be tons of sparks.
And I'll wear a mask. And I'll just chase young couples down the street just going "Bleh! Bleh!" with my roller skates and
you'd catch them pretty fast, probably. And then what?
I'd probably be very confused and awkward, and then just kind of skate off quietly, just going. Bleh.
I assumed you would, playfully tackle them, and they'd get hurt a little, and then they'd run away, and you would just be happy.
That also would be good. Just drag them both to the ground, graze their elbows and damage, just some light superficial damage to their clothes, and then I scrabble back to my feet and just ride off, going. Bleh! Bleh! And I would be known as the Boston Skater Hook.
I don't think you would be. You'd be known as that criminal or, terrifying thing happened.
Ideally, I'd like to be known as Jonathan Holmes if I'm doing that.
It's good. It does. You said a while ago that you wanted to make my life more of an adventure, and you have. I mean, it is more fun. Just like a video game is only fun if you could lose and die, or no longer get to play, because your actions count. You don't want to just regenerate easily. That makes it not fun.
Oh, yeah,
you make me feel like I could lose permanently in life, like I could just really lose it all. So it makes it more exciting. Every day counts.
Yeah.
Got to make this count while I still can, guys.
Gotta make it count, you sexy criminal.
Conrad, did you want to answer the hand question?
What was the hand question again?
If you were going to have your left hand replaced with something else. It's okay if you don't have an answer. I just didn't want
yeah, I mean, I would probably get it replaced with a prosthetic hand.
That's what I said earlier.
Yeah, like,
I'd
get a cyber hand.
Oh, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
We think
so I just proved I was not listening at all. Last several minutes.
Well,
that's
that
how
also
you do
proves
it. That's
that we
how
have more in common than you thought.
Yes, because you also apparently don't spend large periods of time not listening to us. Is that it? Because we have these great ideas to improve your life.
No, I listen to you guys have done.
Fool.
I don't know if we want to. I don't know if we want to do this one.
Oh,
we can pass if you want. It's not that big of a deal. Stephen Bates, who's sbates19 on Twitter, asks, "What is the most reviled thing each of you have written for Destructoid?" I don't know if I have an answer for that. I have a guess. Do you guys? Can you think of something that you wrote that people really hated you and or it? Everyone likes stuff you write, Conrad.
Well, that's not always true. I got some heat for the Dark Souls review. Not a lot, though. I was actually kind of surprised that I didn't get a more negative reaction to giving Dark Souls a 7. But by and large, yeah, I don't know. It's not that I don't acknowledge that some people hate what I do or whatever. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. Because there's enough people out there that I'm getting positive reinforcement about what I'm doing, that the people who are, unless they're providing some kind of, valid criticism, something that I can take on board and then use to improve it, that's a different matter. But if it's just, I hate this, then fuck you.
Yeah, fair enough. But really reviled, like, can you think of, I guess it would be Dark Souls, a time when you saw a comment that was negative, and then you saw another one that was negative, and then it was just kind of like a dog pile.
It happens like I say, it happens from time to time, but I just don't really, I don't hold those instances in my memory, because I have better things I could spend time thinking about.
That's very psychologically responsible. How about you, Jim? What did they get mad about?
Let's just write some URLs on raffle tickets and put them in a hat. That said, I think maybe the one it's two articles, but they go together in the minds of degenerates. Would be the Modern Warfare 3 and the Mario Kart 7 reviews.
Oh, I think I forgot about both of those.
People have used the time-honored tradition of false equivalents to use them in conjunction to claim I am a hypocrite. Which is funny because I knew they'd do that as I wrote the reviews, which is why if you read the reviews, they've already preemptively answered the accusations. But because people communicate using memes now, and pithy photoshops, and pithy one-line sentences, no one bothered to actually read the reviews. So the things they're railing against, the things they're angry about, because in their minds, oh my god, Jim Sterling said Mario Kart 7 was a rehash, but he loved Modern Warfare 3, which is definitely a rehash as well. They don't actually realise that I explained exactly the different circumstances and contexts of the two reviews in the reviews themselves. And actually, funnily enough, Conrad talked about how he doesn't focus on the negative stuff. Those two reviews are why I stopped bothering so much. Because I realised it was... You can say whatever you want. You can explain these things, but that's never going to beat...
It's not going to satisfy them.
No, it's not going to beat someone's little meme. Or the sentence that they have copied and pasted from someone else and will just keep pasting and pasting, which happens a lot. Someone says a thing, because they like that thing that was said, it now just becomes fact. And no amount of real things will stop that. So that's at the point where I decided, well, you know what? The more I argue with this, the more I'm suggesting that I didn't do my job in the reviews and explained these questions already and answered these charges already, which I spent extra time doing on the Kart 7 and Warfare 3 reviews because I knew people would do this. And I'm just rendering my own work pointless by arguing with it. So now I just, whenever it's brought up, and it still gets brought up to me, I just always say, read them. And if you still have questions, read them again.
That's good. Hopefully that'll, for the people on the sidelines who are actually wondering who they should listen to, you or the memes, maybe they'll listen to you, because it's pretty reasonable.
I could only hope. Like I said, in all fairness, a lot of people who actually bothered to read the reviews can see very clearly the different circumstances and the nuance involved in criticizing things.
Darn it. It seems pretty obvious that Modern Warfare 3, which has a full-on campaign, it had an interesting storyline, it had a bunch of new things to it compared to... And I like Mario Kart 7 just fine, but there's no arguing that it looks, plays, in terms of actual content, is a lot of just old tracks from prior Mario Karts, and they did... Well, I don't need to explain to you and to the listeners, hopefully, that I see where you're coming from on this. It seems pretty obvious to me.
Well, and a lot of times this stuff, it comes down to a matter of perspective and opinion also. And,
of course, we all have our mileages.
Exactly. And so when people get angry about something that is essentially opinion, well, I can't get mad at them for that, really. It's not worth the time or energy to get to a slap fight over, who's got the bigger opinion dick. It's just not... You can have it. Your dick's bigger than mine. Does that help? Will that facilitate our relationship? The knowledge that you have a much larger penis than I do. Because I've got a tiny dick, and I've been saying it for years. I'm not ashamed.
You have been saying it for years. I think you first brought it up on Bit Transmission.
Just tiny.
Don't believe it. That's the thing. When you say it, that immediately makes me think this is some sort of reverse psychology trick.
We see. I can't help that. That's your hang-up, man.
But it's an effective technique. Not that you're using a technique, but it's still effective.
No, I just have a small penis and I'm comfortable with it. Can we move on? My God, why are you so obsessed with my dick?
I just, that's how effective you are. Just talking about it now.
Conrad's dick is super effective.
Other questions came in.
Hang on.
Yeah?
What did you write, Jonathan?
Oh, I don't know. People got mad when I said I thought No More Heroes 2 looked more fun than Mass Effect 2. People got mad when I gave Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop on the Wii an 8 out of 10.
Oh,
Some people,
that was amazing.
I still think it's a great game for $40.
Yeah,
If it were $60, I'd be like, this costs too much for the amount of money that went into the game. Clearly, it's a low-budget game, but it was a budget title. Still fun. Still playing it to this day.
It's your review. You're a maniac, but it's your review.
A lot of other people agreed with me.
They
People
are
who
also
actually-
maniacs.
They played it. A lot of people who never played it, such as people on this podcast.
And me, yeah, definitely me.
You've never played it,
No,
but you know it's bad psychically. See, you should play it. Then we'll talk. It's
I
pretty
have
fun.
played it.
You did play it, Conrad.
It's
You
okay.
didn't like it. Yeah, you
It's
didn't like
okay.
it.
It's not.
Sure.
But whatever. You loved it. I dig that.
I really do.
That's fine, especially
really fun
these
to-
days. People are really... Lately, because people used to just get angry if you hated a mainstream game. Now they're angry if you like one. That's a sad place to be in, where positivity is now cause for alarm and anger.
Well, I was thinking about it just this morning, actually. I think that a lot of people rallied around hating certain stuff when the PS3, the 360, and the Wii were the, choose your side and who do you want to win this console generation and where do you want consoles to go from here. It really unified people to have that going on, and these days it's much more diversified and people don't really know who they're supposed to hate, and their world is more complicated, so they'll all of a sudden just all hate mainstream games, or we just hate EA all the time. Sometimes their games are good. No, we hate them. Capcom, I hate you because of that game you canceled 2 years ago. They've come out some good games since then. Who cares? It's a much more kind of chaotic hate world than it used to be.
It is it's very much a minefield, which is interesting. And I'm certainly not saying, you have to like all the games all the time. It's not about liking or hating the games. You don't have to like or hate people based purely on what they enjoy and don't enjoy. If someone enjoyed a game, you don't have to hate them for it or assume there's some agenda at play. Just acknowledge that they liked it and be happy for them. Like when I review a game poorly and someone comes up to me and says, I like the game anyway, so fuck you. I'm not angry at them for that. Some people try and make me angry by saying they like a game I don't like. If anything, I just envy them.
Yeah, you told me you were jealous that I liked The Last Story, which I do like.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it the other day. Like, it was, it had some shabby times for sure, but I was endeared to the characters, and I liked walking around and hitting a guy. I had a fun time with it. But
there are people that love Colonial Marines. I don't understand
weird.
these people.
Yeah.
I mean, they may as well be necrophiles for as much as I can get inside their mind, but I am jealous.
Sure.
I actually think that might be easier. I've seen the music video for Mary Jane's Last Dance, and I mean, could be worse.
Who'd that have in it? Kim Basinger?
Kim Basinger, yeah.
She's pretty.
I bet she's wrinkly now, but
How many more questions do you guys want to do? I think so many came in. A lot of them are about LucasArts, like Star Wars 13.
They always do
What'll
that.
happen.
They always ask us questions about like the one big topic that we're like more than likely to have already discussed.
They're excited about it. They want to talk to us. It's very nice that they care enough to talk to us.
They're idiots and should all die.
Did you Did you see that video someone did of they dubbed in you singing Scatman to
that made my day.
That was pretty good.
that was fantastic.
Yeah, I feel bad for not mentioning that. It was Sir Toby who linked me. I don't think Toby made it. Someone else made it. But yeah, they took footage of The Dark Knight Rises, of Bane doing the whole thing in the football stadium, and dubbed over me singing my lovely song that I wrote for Jonathan Holmes, which bared some superficial similarities to the Scatman. And it's good, and the the way they synchronized the sound and the visuals was perfect, and I
The
woke
crowd
up.
reaction shots, yeah.
Yes, the dumbfounded crowd. What's it called? Because we should tell people to look for it.
I
Hold
don't
on.
know. We'll
It
find out.
should be on my Facebook still. Let me scrolly.
A pretty song for Jonathan.
That's it. Yes, look up on YouTube "A Pretty Song for Jonathan," and it's it's fantastic.
And they timed it so the professor that Bane has talks with me a little bit. That made me feel included. That was nice.
It's always nice to be included.
Yeah, I'm part of it. Hooray, me. Oh, so many questions. A lot of them are so good. VG Freak 1225 wants to know if we believe that Bioshock Infinite's gameplay creates enough ludonarrative dissonance that it should not have combat at all. I think Jim would say no, it was good the way it was. I haven't played it, so I don't know. Conrad?
I'm in the midst of playing it now. I think that there are other ludonarrative issues at play that beyond the combat that are kind of fucking screwy. So why not
It's
the
fun
combat
for
be
me,
in there
though.
too?
It's weird. I'm not that interested in playing Bioshock Infinite at the moment, but I think about it at least 5 times a day. Ken Levine was on talk show on NPR talking about it for an hour yesterday. Everyone's talking about it, and I'm having fun hearing what everyone has to say about it. But I'm actually playing it. I can put it off a little bit more. I think.
I've now managed to get to Elizabeth. That's how much I've played since it released.
Huh.
Like, I bought it the night it came out, thinking I'll come up with some cool video thing to do with this. That'll justify my spending this money on this video game. Ha ha ha. And then the next day I moved my shit into my new place, and then I set stuff up, and I played for maybe an hour. And then I put it down, and then it's 2 days before I get back to it, and I get another hour in. I mean, I'm just, I'm crawling through it, because I'm not so obsessed with the idea of playing it for whatever reason that I can sit down and like be completely absorbed and lose 5 hours. I can't seem to do it. And like BioShock 1 did that for me in a big way. BioShock 2, a little bit less so. But I mean, the game is not so dominant of my consciousness that I can't stop and think I should check my email. I should.
Well, you're also
post.
in a different point in life now. Like now, you're the news manager. Back when BioShock 1 came out,
that's not me. That's the guy that sits next to me. I am not responsible for that anymore. Don't know.
Oh, you seem like a boss to me. Still,
I'm still a boss.
So back in your pre-boss days, you had more mental bandwidth, as Andy Schatz would put it. For me, it's just I hear about the game so much that it honestly makes me feel like I've already played it, so I don't have the same hunger to play it. Before it came out, I was really interested in it, but now I talk about it almost constantly. It's all anyone wants to talk about, and I'm having fun hearing what they have to say.
I've actively avoided conversations about it. I avoided content relating to it. I didn't read previews before it came out. I was very excited for it. And when it released, and I know everybody's still talking, I'm still ignoring everyone.
I'll play it
Anytime
someday.
I hear anyone say anything about BioShock Infinite, I just say, DeWitt is Fontaine. And move on and just close the window because I'm not interested. I don't want to know. But yet, I don't, for whatever reason, feel a sense of urgency to have the experience for myself.
Well, I have to assume it either has to do with you and your brain right now, or the game just wasn't designed well enough to get you excited.
I don't know.
Those two, or both.
Completely over first-person shooters.
Oh, could be. Could be you've reached that saturation point for them.
I'm hoping the story's interesting soon, though. I mean, like, I've seen a little bit of what Elizabeth do, and I can see now why, like, you know, that character is significant to other things that I have already sort of seen and picked up on in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping it continues to go in an interesting direction.
A lot of the people I've heard who've played it and then replayed it said it's way better the second time. That actually, the old idea that spoilers make it worse, that this is a game that after you already know everything about it, replaying it with that information already in your brain makes it...
My wife actually felt the same way. She played
Yeah.
it the first time and was very on the fence about it. Played it the second time and loved it completely. So
I love movies that do that.
Mhm.
That really have a level of depth that you make the observations on your second viewing that support the plot so effectively that it becomes a better film, a richer film for them.
one of those films is Fireproof, a Christian film by starring Kirk Cameron, and done by people who do such films. You might be forgiven for thinking it's the ultimate white people problems movie. A firefighter who believes that his wife should hero worship him because he's a firefighter, wants to save up money for a boat, but they need a second car, and their beautiful house needs some repairs. So they're having a rough time with their marriage and arguing and being entitled brats to each other. And then one of them is, they're going to have a divorce, but that's bad because God. So the father of the man gives him a book called The Love Dare, which tells him all the things he can do to trick his wife into staying with him in this loveless marriage. And then they fall in love again because God. And you might think that's rubbish for a film, but I've watched that film more than almost any other film in the world.
Wow.
And keep finding new brilliant things in it, because it's one of those films that is so banal, your mind blacks out for vast portions of it. And when you rewatch it, your mind blacks out for different portions, and the bits you missed originally unlock. And eventually, once you watch it, you get a whole film.
Kind of like playing Braid.
Kind of like playing Braid. And then you get to experience the majesty of Fireproof. Highly recommended. I'm not going to ever do a movie Defense Force review on it because fuck no. But it's on Netflix and you all should watch it anyway. Fireproof, Kirk Cameron stars.
Whoa. All right. I will watch that. There's a lot of things I'm going to watch now. Dark Place, Fireproof.
You should watch Fireproof with friends or family, though. It's a shared experience.
I'm always around my
Yeah.
wife. I'm never not.
You need a spotter.
To like keep the weight from crushing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's almost always around, which is part of why. Also, another reason why I can read about BioShock Infinite on my computer while she's watching TV and no one's getting disrupted. If I were to take over the TV, that would be sad. So it's almost better for me to just read about it. Or put it on the Wii U, guys. I'd play it on that little thing. And people want games on the Wii U, so might as well.
You need a man cave.
I don't really want to be alone. I like hanging out with her while she's doing a thing and I'm doing a thing.
You need another monitor and a set of headphones. I mean, this isn't hard. There are
maybe.
solutions.
I know, we all like hanging out with our other halves, but sometimes you need a thing. I've got an office. It's a nice office. I get to work in some peace, but I still get to do plenty of hanging out and watch Fireproof.
I don't know. It's not, the idea is not attractive to me for some reason. It's weird. There's so many more questions, but we've been talking for so long. Some of them are just for me. It feels weird. Like Mandy Assistio, who is Pinky Puff _ wants to know why I chose Jim Sterling as the voice of Ditto for Teenage Pokemon. I don't know if I want to give it all away. I want people to analyze it, but you've got a lot of power, Jim. You've got a lot of different types of powers. And so does Ditto. Ditto is a pretty awesome Pokemon. Ever since I first heard about Ditto, I was like, that's a pretty awesome Pokemon. I want one of those for sure. So, yeah. It made sense to me that you are kind of the human Ditto.
Oh. I still have people asking me, did you do a voice in that cartoon on Pokemon on YouTube?
They're still not sure. But they watch it to find out, which is nice. You are a draw. You are a selling point.
I should hope so, and all.
Yeah, it's not the
work
most.
I put in.
I've got, if we get to do season 2, I've got your scene all planned out already. I wanted to do a whole episode about you, but I don't have the animators on hand, and Machinima only wants 4 episodes instead of like 8 right now. So that'll have to wait for season 3 if it happens. But if you are going to be in season 2, Jim, this scene's pretty good. You're going to get to really stretch your acting chops.
I'll stretch your chops.
Does that just mean full
very
much?
good.
I guess we should stop.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Someone from Way Forward, Austin Ivan Smith. I have to do this. Saying, why do gaming media put April Fools in their titles now? Why can't we all have fun together? I think he means that when someone from a video game publisher or developer tells you a lie, and then you post it as a quotes joke unquotes, and then you don't tell people that you're lying to them, that ruins the fun.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I have actually no problem with doing this stuff. If you send me an email that says this is a joke that we're going to do, will you be complicit in our lie? That's one thing. Sending me a lie is something else.
And even
so,
then, yeah, it's
if you want game journalists to be in on your April Fool's jokes, bring them in on your April Fool's jokes.
Another factor, of course, is people are always looking to tear games media down from the thrones they think they have.
You're small.
Yeah. they love to... Because, I mean, if you write it as a serious post, first thing people are going to do is point and laugh at you and say, ha, you got tricked. And then they will say something about credibility, something about journalistic integrity, etc., etc. And nobody wants to deal with that on the day of mirth. So I think people honestly have to tag things as April Fool's jokes now, just to avoid that.
Well, and here's the alternative, and this is the happy medium that I have found. I take that day off.
That's honestly what I did as well.
Yeah,
I just disappeared. I went checked things out, but that's the alternative. And then you don't have those people participating at all.
Yeah,
which sucks too.
I was furious because it was on a Monday, and that's Jimquisition Day, and I hadn't planned ahead, so I just had a normal episode up, and I was furious
until the next day. Because I didn't want to get lost in the shuffle and the mess and whatever.
I posted my video on Destructoid on the Tuesday as well. There's nothing I could do for the escapists. But they did the whole day, I think, serious. Which I almost want to say well done for.
Yeah, that's not easy.
But Austin Ivan Smith, you guys have to make Catgirl About Salad now.
Yeah.
It is a thing that you could still make. You were probably going to make it all along, is what you've been telling me. So it will come out this year.
It should be illegal. If you do an awesome April Fool's joke and you don't do it, you should go to jail forever.
Yes. Forever. And the art was by Lindsay Collins, who was the primary character designer on Teenage Pokemon, which was also neat. And she told me, oh yeah, it was an April Fool's joke. She told me that today, finally. But not anymore. It's not. If you guys want to avoid jail and me getting fired by Conrad, who thinks I'm a terrible journalist, the worst, because I posted your thing and didn't say April Fool's joke on it.
You've made liars of us all, Way Forward.
We should talk about the things we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Ashley Davis, former Destructoid writer and artist, did the cover of the regular show comic book. She did one of the alternate covers that's out today, Wednesday. So go look for it. It's the good one.
That's awesome.
I'm really happy for her.
Let's go.
I'm not a big fan of regular show, but this makes me like it. And I want her to just be the regular show person now.
I have not bought a comic book in 5 years, I will buy the regular show comic with
Issue 4
cover from Ashley Davis.
Yeah,
Issue
it's
4.
Mordecai giving an ice cream cone to, I think, Rigby, and it's adorable. It's really good. Oh, and people wanted us to talk about that. Maybe some other time. Why I like Adventure Time and you like regular show.
I like them both.
You like them both, but you prefer regular show a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't care for either.
Yeah.
Oh, well, aren't you, Madame Peabody?
But I've never seen regular show in like 5 minutes of Adventure Time. It's really due to lack of exposure, probably more than anything else.
They're on Netflix now. At least regular show is. I don't know if Adventure Time is yet.
They both are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Season
excellent.
1. Mm-hmm.
That'll be something then. That once I finish watching Twin Peaks again.
That's a pretty good show too.
I always get halfway through the first episode of Twin Peaks, and then something happens to where I can't watch it again. Some event occurs that stops me, and then I never get back into it, and I really want to.
It gets really good.
I know. I've seen bits and bobs, but I've never been able to sit and watch the whole thing in a block.
Someday.
Yeah.
Things. I will start.
Please do.
I am going to write the post tonight for the Paul Greasley episode of Sup Holmes. Paul's a great guy. He did Fistful of Gun, which is you can play the alpha, I think, off his website, which is farmergnome.com. So many free games on there. If you want to play some good free video games, he has put up as many free games as he can. He was very similar to Jasper Byrne, actually, creator of Lone Survivor. When we had Jasper on the show, he's like, I don't want to sell anything. I just want to give it to people. I don't want to get money. That feels terrible. I just want people to have stuff I made for them. And Paul is similar philosophy. He really doesn't want to sell his games, and they're very well made, almost unfairly well made, given the fact that he's not charging anything.
Dragging everyone else down, that's the thing.
Pretty much. He made a game that annoyed Anthony Birch, actually, called Edmund, which makes you just a terrible person if you play it. So people should check his stuff out on farmergnome.com and also watch his episode. I'm going to post it today on Destructoid, but you can watch it right now on Dtoid TV on YouTube and listen to it on iTunes. This Sunday, Steve Swink, who made a game called Scale, is coming on. He is an up-and-coming dude, a handsome dude, a fun dude. Everyone's talking about this Steve Swink, guys. He'll be on the live stream. Sup Holmes this Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check out his games, too. I think it's steveswink.com. He's funny. A lot of the games he's made, he puts his name in them. I think there's one called, Swink Cycle, where you're a cycling swink. Anyway, just watch it. What else did I do? Did I do other stuff? Did I talk about Sexy Layton already? I think I did.
I don't think you talked about... I don't know. Well, you might have done it last week.
Yeah, I did last week. That's getting up in views. It started off slow, but
look at it in a bit.
He's been... Sexy Layton himself has been doing the rounds. I think people are consuming all that media.
Good for him. Good for Sexy Layton. There might be more Talk Fast coming up, I think.
Yeah, I think there are a couple more. I got some of them in my box yesterday, and then
already a Podtoid wiki page on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you guys. I remember that happening. Yeah, more stuff like that. Oh, and a Beat of Shock Infinite poster might happen. So
I might have to buy one of those.
Yeah, that's art by Sarah Thomas.
That as a poster I would buy. I'm less interested in that as a shirt, but
we're working on making it more shirt friendly, but as a poster it's already ready to go. So through Nintendo Force magazine that me and
you better still have my ditto line art small pink shirt.
That shirt never got made, but when it is made, you'll get it for sure.
I
won't let you down. And if you did want to buy a Teenage Pokemon shirt, I will get back to you. Yeah, I did a bunch of drawings. Everyone who bought one will get a hand-drawn drawing of a new Teenage Pokemon design I made up while very tired last Sunday. Anyway, enough out of me. What are you guys doing?
We have a new office chat that's going up sometime today, right after I finish this, because once again I get it at the last minute and then do this podcast and then get it up. And so there's some interesting stuff in there. I think the statements about how the next generation of mobile hardware is expected to be just a little less powerful than the current generation of console hardware, which I thought was kind of an interesting thought. We talk a little bit about that and the annualization of Assassin's Creed and some other stuff. So that's a good chat. That'll be up on Podtoid today. We get the question, which this week was, what do you think of HD remakes? And there is a growing, like a grassroots movement forming to have a regular show that is you and your wife, Holmes.
What? What would that even be?
I have no idea, but the people are speaking.
It would, okay. She would be up for it, I think.
She seems like she would be. And then what else? Oh, and Jordan DeVore and I just put up a really embarrassing gameplay demo of the Injustice Gods Among Us demo, where we flail madly around and basically can't understand what we're doing and comment on how bad we are at fighting games.
That sounds fun to watch.
How awful it would be to date Wonder Woman. So that's up, and we're gonna have a new show, like hopefully next week, which is exciting. It'll be me and Jordan doing co-op gameplay, full run-throughs. We're gonna have fun with that.
Oh, awesome! That's what people like.
Yeah, people seem to like those things, and some people seem to like us. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm doing quote marks in the air around lots of this. But there's one dude that I know I'm going to give a shout out because he's never going to hear it, so he won't get the satisfaction. Bartle the Yayo on YouTube. He's my buddy. He's my number one fan on the YouTubes. Loves everything we do there.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, it's yep. It's just deep near to my heart. He actually suggested today that we hire him.
That's where it always leads.
Yes. Yeah, so good.
Does he really love you?
What's that?
I feel like, does he love you, really?
He's the one guy. Up until this point, there was like a dog race between him and like 1-2 other people as to who was going to be the dick that has some asshole-ish comment to put on every single video we put up. But as of now, he's the clear front runner. Huh. So for him, good for him. Anyway, that's what I'm up to. I'm making videos and then politely poking fun at the people who make fun of us in them.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
YouTube stardom beckons, my boy.
Right. What are you doing, Jim?
Oh, let's see. Jimquisition episode 100 hit this Monday. I'm very proud of that. We unveiled a new backdrop, a new suit for miniature fantasy Willem Dafoe, which was sent to me kindly by Frankie Vittorello. What else did we do? Got new background music for the show. Stopped stealing other people's music from games. And Danny Baranowski very kindly and beautifully and sexually made a new background music for the show, which is incredible. It's fantastic. It fits the show really well. We're still going to hopefully do some tweaks to it and up the tempo a bit and make it nice and loopable, but came off really well. The show looks better than ever now, so I'm really happy with that. And as I said last week, I ran the math, and if my estimations are correct, I have 3 times the viewers I thought I had, which is incredibly exciting. And the show seems to be doing better and better. And it's still weird that I'll send an email to someone for something work-related for Destructoid, and they're like, wait a minute, but you're the same guy from The Escapist. That's amazing. It's weird how that took off, because I still consider myself, Destructoid first and foremost. But clearly that show's been doing better than I thought it had.
Oh, well, over on YouTube, they don't know that Destructoid exists beyond Max and Terralong. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just, they don't know.
And on Teenage Pokemon,
they think Revision 3 owns us.
Right. And on Teenage Pokemon, it was not, is that Jim Sterling from Destructoid? It was just Jim from
Jimquisition. Yeah.
It's weird stuff. But
famous.
That did really well. It's doing really well. Still doing better. Got some more stuff lined up, Escapist side, including a crossover project that I'm working with another well-known individual there that I will not say any more on, but it is very exciting, and that's going to be cool. What else did I do? Over on Destructoid, which is where I actually work full time, did reviews. I decided a new plan, which has led to me now having even less free time than before, because I thought, well, the downtime between main reviews, big reviews, there's a ton of Greenlight stuff on Steam now that I can just obtain and review, and that means now I can never not have anything to review, which is awful in a kind of cool way.
Well played, clerk.
So, what have we done so far? We have reviews up right now for DLC Quest and the Organ Trail. And hopefully more of those coming. I am currently working on reviewing Afterfall Insanity Extended Edition and Evoland. And after that, there's other stuff on Greenlight that's, we're going to be working on. Jordan also wants to start doing some more reviews, and because he's obviously a PC guy, hopefully be helping me cover the Greenlight stuff. So that's cool. And other stuff and things for the internet.
You're always doing so much stuff. I hope you're okay.
I'm alright.
Yeah, you're okay. Oh, I just saw now, Ben Fox is 22 today. He's Ben Fox 91 on Twitter. Says, a happy birthday would make my shit British. Student life immeasurably better. I don't think that's how he wanted me to read it.
Does it? It was like it just transforms it into a Union Jack.
I think he meant for me to read it.
It just comes out bland and flavorless.
Yeah, I'm sorry I read it like that, Ben. But happy birthday, Ben. I'm glad you're 22. I'm glad you survived. Keep not dying every year.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Ben. Man. It's a good place to end it, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a fun day with us. Feels like a fucking day. I'd like to thank Conrad and Jonathan for coming on and being lovely boys all together. And thank you for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Oh, bye. Bye.